So everybody's having their opinion on this whole Stephen A. LeBron situation. You know, Stephen A. got pulled up on the sidelines by LeBron, and LeBron pretty much told him, keep my son's name out your motherfucking mouth. And Stephen A. responded. But over here we got Carmelo Anthony's podcast, and it's very interesting to get their take because these guys are all good buddies, and D Wade is on that podcast episode as well. And you know, D Wade and LeBron go way, way, way back. So it's interesting to see what they had to say. First, check out what D Wade had to say.
He's on the couch.
I have a personal relationship with Stephen A. Obviously, our relationship with Brian and my relationship with Brian is documented.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And I have a relationship with Stephen A. as well. And so we talk. You know what I mean? I'm not talking out of school. Me and him text back and forth about the situation. And just, you know, to be candid and honest, I told him, you know, it's dual sides once again. You know, I mean, I think you understand both sides if you're that person who wants to understand both sides. I told him, as a father, I'm walking up on you.
Right.
I get it, because I'm like that too.
So D Wade admits he's running up on you if you're talking about his kid too. Like, bruh, like Rashal McCants on the Guild Arena podcast said something that I want to take into account. You know, forget about the whole mask he's wearing. Goddamn, he must be a Mortal Kombat fanatic. But he said, at what point does the child stop becoming the child, or something like that? He said, at one point. At what point? And of course, the answer to that is never. But when do you allow your kid to speak up for themselves? You know, this is not a child. This is a grown ass man, and I'm not gonna fault them for wanting to run up and protect their kids. But this is just verbal. This is just verbal. Now, if you press my son, I'm gonna be right there to back him up. But if you're just talking verbal and all this other stuff, like, really?
Like, I'm at you.
Of course.
But also, you know what I told him, I said, and I think we've never seen LeBron do that. Like, even we've never seen, like, LeBron don't even go back at players that foul him too hard on the court. We've never seen him be, like, he's always been just even keel and level headed in every aspect. And sometimes you want him to jump.
It's funny how D Wade said that. You notice Carmelo got a little snicker in it because they know LeBron. They know LeBron personally. You know, I said this in my last video. Hey, Bron, did you pull up on Carlos Boozer like that? Nazi Muhammad like that? You pull up on Draymond Green like that? Or all these other enforcers that were in the league at the time in the early 2000s? You pull up on them like that? Don't pull up on the reporter just doing his job. You know?
Sometimes you want him to go, and he won't. And so to watch the clip and watch him on that bench and see Stephen A. over there, he couldn't take it. He couldn't take it.
I mean,
he could not stand it.
They got the memo. Yo, Stephen A. He coming tonight. He coming to the game tonight.
He knew it because he saw him in warm up when he walked in. You know what I mean? But it was burning him. But you know, I told him, I said, you know, Stephen A., I think the one thing is, and first of all, I take it as that's a sign of respect that LeBron did that to you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know
he knows the power of Stephen A.'s voice.
He understands
also.
that. And I told him, I said, and that's the thing. Your microphone is the loudest. Your platform is the biggest. And also, you're a black man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know what the black man thing got to do with it. I'm just doing my job. Am I not supposed to critique black men? You know, like, I'm just doing my job. Like, if I'm a man, if I'm a woman, am I not allowed to critique women? I mean, if I wear glasses, am I not allowed to critique people that wear glasses? So I don't know what that has to do with anything. Saying LeBron couldn't take it. You 40. You 40 years old. I used to teach self-defense tactics, and one of the mindsets you have to have in self-defense is emotional control. You know, emotional control. Like, you've seen that man since the beginning of the game. So much that, like, y'all were down, and it was burning you that much? That much? Like, bro, if it was bothering you that much, in my opinion, he should have just hit Stephen A. up and said, hey, let's just meet up, or call it, go on a show, do something. But like during the game, imagine if they lost that game. Imagine if they lost that game. You know, and the fact that he walked over there and his coach let him do that, which is crazy.
Yeah. And I said, you know, man, so you got to understand, you know, where he's coming from with that. If he even approached you, because yes, the Skip Bayless of the world and all these guys have said things about him his entire career, and he's been above it. He stayed quiet above it and did his thing. And so that meant something. That's respect right there for everything you built. We know Stephen A. from Quite Frankly.
Let's just touch on the whole respect thing. Wade saying respect and Melo agreeing. Like, what are you talking about respect? You pulled up on me. I mean, I'm not gonna, it is what it is. I don't really agree with Stephen A. saying that's a weak move, but you pulled up on me. You said what you had to say, but I think it was disrespect the way you came at me. You come up to me, just have a conversation. Don't say your little spiel and bounce, my nigga, and get back to the right. Like, no, listen, I'm not interested in having one-way conversations. All right, that goes for both ways. You towards me and me towards you. If you're gonna come to me like a man and address me, you say your piece, I say my piece, we go our separate ways. We agree to disagree or agree. Not you barking at me like I'm a kid and turning your back on me. You turn your back on niggas in the hood, nigga. like you lucky he's on his court. I would have kicked you right in the back of your ass. Turn her back on me. But I think it was disrespect, honestly. So isn't that counter to what D-Wade just said when he said Stephen A. is a black man? You coming at me? It goes the other way. You have the Skip Baylesses of the world. Skip Bayless, he named LeBron LeBrick. All right, his name was LeBrick. Stephen A. was named out. Excuse me. Skip Bayless was out here naming all these cats, and you let him talk about you and talk about you and talk about you, and then you come at me. You see the one black man getting his monies. You come at me. So it goes the same way as a black man. So that's why I say the whole color thing don't fucking matter, man. It don't matter to me. For the full take on what D Wade said, cook out the full length. Let's get to what Melo had to say. Melo said something pretty interesting.
I said earlier, I don't think there's a right answer here. You know what I mean? We've never seen anything like this.
You can't separate church from state with
you
that.
Can't.
You can't separate that. So there is a fine line of I am a father. But you can't separate the fact that he is your teammate as well. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And he's in this league to be critiqued.
Now, was Carmelo pointing that at LeBron? Like, look, you got to separate the two, man. That's like if you work in some kind of company, you work in a hospital, and you get your son a little gig at the hospital. And then those supervisors are critiquing his work. I mean, you're going to protect your kid, not let him talk bad about him, but at the end of the day, he's here to be critiqued, to become a better employee. This is basketball. This is a kid's game. We're talking about a kid's game. We're not talking about no Fortune 500 company. We're talking about a kid's game that Bronny's been playing since he was a kid. You're going to get critiqued. That's how you get better. Like, you got to separate the two.
I just think this has been a build-up. We're talking 22 years. Like, this ain't got nothing to do with Bronny. It's just the fact that Bronny is a part of the conversation now, and he also got to protect his seed. You get what I'm saying? You got to protect the kingdom, no matter how old a nigga is. Like, he's Bronny. That's my dad. So Bron got to protect that. But
I definitely agree with Carmelo with that. Like, all these guys in this new age, like, especially Skip, I know motherfuckers is licking their chops, rubbing their hands like motherfucking Birdman to get at Skip Bayless, boy. Like, it's been a build-up for all these dudes. All of them. I remember when Jalen Rose, I think it was somebody else, but it was mostly Jalen Rose was on First Take, and he got at Stephen A. and Skip on First Take. I think Bron should have did that. That's what I think. But yeah, it's definitely a build-up, I think. And Melo goes on to say that Bronny was just the trigger. But what do y'all think? Do y'all agree with Wade? Do you agree with Melo? Do you agree with both of them? Do you disagree? Do you disagree with how Bron handled this? Because I personally disagree with how LeBron handled this. He should have did this after the game or before the game, preferably after, because you still got a game to play. Or pull up to him on his platform. He said this stuff on his platform. Pull up to him on his platform and say it. Or you got a platform too, LeBron. Say it on your platform. Let me know what you think in the comments. KJ Media 100. I'm out.